Hare Krishna. We're going to continue today to review the chapter 4 of Bhagavad Gita as it is. So continuing on with this review, we read yesterday, the king visits a jail. So then reading on in 4.18, Krishna is speaking to Arjuna and says, in action, Krishna consciousness. One who sees in action, and action in action is intelligent among men. And he is in the transcendental position, although engaged in all sorts of activities. So when we are acting in Krishna consciousness, that is in action. Why? Because we're not going to get the result of that. That is the proper way to act, because that's not going to give us any karma. And because of not getting karma, then we can be liberated from this material world. So doing everything for Krishna, everything. It doesn't mean that we don't have to sleep, doesn't mean we don't have to eat, we don't have to go to work, we don't have to stay fit in our body, or, no, we do everything, but understanding that I'm a part and parcel of Krishna. So we do everything for the pleasure of Krishna. Then that is in action, although we are doing all the activities. That is called in action. So we don't have to stop anything, don't have to stop eating, don't have to stop exercising to maintain the body, don't have to stop sleeping, don't have to stop working, or don't have to, anything. No, just do it for the pleasure of Krishna. I have to maintain my body too, for the pleasure of Krishna. I have to do my duties for the pleasure of Krishna. I have to hear and chant for the pleasure of Krishna. So all the activities become Krishna conscious. And then we don't need to we will not get the karma for those activities. And so when we give up this body, then we can go to the spiritual world. No need to take up another material body. But no need to take material body. So here, by doing all these activities in Krishna consciousness, will not get any reaction. But here, if I artificially renounce without Krishna consciousness, I say, I'm not going to do anything. I'm artificially renouncing. That artificial renunciation is still going to give me reactions. It's still going to give me reactions because it's not Krishna conscious. So it is actually action. It is not inaction. That is the point. That is the point. Because even if I renounce, I'm going to walk, I'm going to still eat something, I'm still going to think, I'm going to do something that's going to give me, that is going to give me reactions. So reading on 24, a person who's fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness is sure to attain the spiritual kingdom because of his full contribution to spiritual activities in which the consummation is absolute and that which is offered is of the same spiritual nature. So a Krishna conscious person, while he's living in this world, while he's in the body, he's using his mind, his body, all his activities for Krishna. He's absorbed in Krishna consciousness. So because he's absorbed in Krishna consciousness, then of course, when he gives up this body, he is going to go back to the spiritual world because his consciousness is on the absolute platform then. His consciousness is for the absolute. So he will go to the spiritual world. Here is the devotee Kolaveka Sridhar. He's a very, very, very pure devotee of Lord Caitanya. He was very poor. He used to just sell banana leaves. He was very poor, but he was very happy, very, very happy. Whatever little money he would get, 50% he would give for the worship of Mother Ganga. And with 50%, he would maintain his life, whatever. But because he was a poor banana seller, how much money could he get, But he didn't want anything else. He didn't want anything else. And when Lord Chaitanya, he told him, ask me a benediction. I can give you anything you want. Tell me what you want. He said, just give me faith and devotion to your lotus feet. I don't want anything else. So, a pure devotee of the Lord. He was already on the transcendental platform. He was experiencing the happiness of, he was experiencing spiritual happiness. So reading on, 434, just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master, inquire from him submissively, and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. They have seen the truth. So inquire from the spiritual master, from the self-realized souls, submissively, and render service unto them. Here we can see Parikshit Maharaj. There's Parikshit Maharaj, and this is Sukadev Goswami, and these are all the sages. Where Sukadev Goswami is speaking the Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. So this Bhagavatam is the knowledge of self-realization. It is transcendental knowledge. It is spiritual. It is Krishna himself. Is Krishna's literary incarnation is Srimad Bhagavatam. And this is Lord Chaitanya, but I'm not sure which devotee is this. So, but anyway, the idea is approach the self-realized souls to get spiritual knowledge. Having obtained real knowledge from a self-realized soul, you will never fall again into such illusion. For by this knowledge, you will see that all living beings are but part of the Supreme, or in other words, that they are mine. So a self-realized soul can understand that the Paramatma is there within everyone's heart. The Paramatma is there in each and every living entity's heart. That each and every living entity is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. Each and every living entity belongs to the Supreme Lord. They're part and parcel. So he sees not the body, the self-realized soul sees not the body, but he sees the soul and the super soul next to him. Even if you're considered to be the most sinful of all sinners, when you are situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge, you will be able to cross over the ocean of miseries. So when one gets the transcendental knowledge, when one is gotten this transcendental knowledge, then can cross over this material world. Material world is compared to an ocean of miseries. It's an ocean of miseries. And what is the knowledge? Knowledge of self-realization, knowledge of that Krishna consciousness. That is transcendental knowledge. Knowledge that we are, each and every one is a part and parcel of Krishna, and we have to revive our Krishna consciousness. That is transcendental knowledge. A faithful man who is dedicated to transcendental knowledge and who subdues his senses is eligible to achieve such knowledge. And having achieved it, he quickly attains the supreme spiritual peace. So one who is faithful, then what happens? He's able to get this knowledge. He's able to realize this knowledge. And then once he has realized this knowledge, then he's gotten the spiritual peace, spiritual happiness. Here is read, he said here, Prabhupada's purport is put, one is called a faithful man who thinks that simply by acting in Krishna consciousness, he can attain the highest perfection. So that is faith, that simply I will act in Krishna consciousness and I will achieve the highest perfection. I will be able to realize this transcendental knowledge simply by acting in Krishna consciousness. That is the way to realize this knowledge, because knowledge is they're on a theoretical platform, and then there has to be the realization of the knowledge. And how to realize it? Just have faith. Just faith that I'm just going to act in Krishna consciousness. And that will give me the highest perfection. So continue to hear and chant. Continue to hear and chant. And that gives the highest perfection. And then, so because this was done by ISKCON Malaysia, so this is the address of ISKCON Malaysia, Jagannath Mandir, and that's it. Question and answers, if there are any questions. Any comments? If no, then we'll stop here for today. Thank you so much for joining in and listening in. Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Shilpa Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.